So you've got this amazing innovation, and you're thinking about going global. That's awesome. But it also opens up this huge, complex challenge. How in the world do you protect your ideas everywhere without completely breaking the bank? Well, today, we're going to navigate that global patent minefield together. We're turning that anxiety into a clear, strategic path for your business. Right, you're ready to take your idea to the world stage. But what's the real price tag for that global protection? It's such a crucial question because the true costs, they're often hidden, buried in all sorts of regulations and fees that are totally different from one country to the next. So let's start digging in. Okay, so to get a real grip on your budget, you've got to know where every single dollar is going. We're going to break down the 5 key cost drivers. You can think of them as the main toll booths you're going to have to pass through on your journey to get that global patent protection. All right, so here they are, the big 5. Initial filing, examination, translation, maintenance, and enforcement. Each of these stages has its own set of costs, and really understanding them is the absolute foundation of a smart IP strategy. Let's tackle them one by one. First up, you've got your initial filing and examination fees. Now, these costs can be all over the map. While a place like the US is pretty straightforward, other jurisdictions, say Japan or the European Union, have way more rigorous examination processes that can really drive up your budget. Their examiners often send back what are called office actions, basically asking for more info or changes. And trust me, every single one of those back and forths costs you both in time and money. Okay, now for the one cost that catches so many founders completely by surprise: translation. If you want to file in countries like Japan, Korea, or China, you need top-notch, super technical translations. And this isn't just some box you check off. A bad translation can get your application flat out rejected, or even worse, make your patent totally useless and unenforceable down the road. You cannot underestimate this expense. It can become a huge chunk of your budget. And you'd think once your patent is granted, you're done paying, right? Nope. Now you have to pay maintenance fees, sometimes called annuities, just to keep your patent alive. And here's the real kicker. In most parts of the world, these fees actually go up over time. So what starts as a pretty manageable cost can seriously balloon into a major long-term drain on your finances. And boom, take a look at this. This chart says it all, really. As you can see, over the long haul, those maintenance fees can swell to become more than half of your entire patent budget. This is exactly why you have to actively manage your portfolio. You've got to be doing regular reviews and be willing to prune patents in markets that just aren't strategic for you anymore. Otherwise, you're just burning cash. And that brings us to the final cost driver, the one you really hope you never have to deal with: enforcement. Because if someone infringes on your patent, the cost of fighting them in court can be absolutely astronomical and totally unpredictable. It's like the hidden iceberg of IP costs. So how much are we talking? Well, a single patent lawsuit can easily blow past $1.5 million. This is precisely why your initial filing strategy is so critical. You need to be thinking about which countries have strong, reliable, and, this is key, cost-effective enforcement systems. A country like Germany is a good example, so you can actually afford to defend your rights if you have to. Okay, so we know what the costs are. We get it, it's expensive. Now what? How do we actually tackle this strategically? Well, this brings us to a really fundamental choice that every global company has to make. Do you go for broad, regional protection, or do you want that really targeted national control? On the one hand, you have regional patents, like the European Patent Convention, or EPC. They're super efficient, right? One application, one examination, and you get coverage in a whole bunch of countries. The downside? You lose some flexibility. If there's an issue during that one examination, it could jeopardize the whole thing. It's kind of all or nothing. But on the flip side, individual national patents give you surgical control. You can tailor your strategy country by country, and dropping one doesn't affect any of the others. It's definitely more admin work up front, but the flexibility is incredible. So what's the secret? What do the smart founders do? Well, often, the best solution is a hybrid approach. You get the best of both worlds. You could use a regional patent, like the EPC, to get that broad, efficient coverage across Europe, and then add individual national patents in your absolutely most critical markets, say Germany and the UK, for that extra layer of targeted protection. It's all about balancing efficiency and control. Now for one of my favorite topics, because this is where you can get really clever: using time as a strategic tool. You see, it's not just about what you spend, it's about when you spend it. If you can master the financial clock of the patent world, you can push off major costs and make much, much smarter decisions. It all starts with something called the priority year. From the day you file your very first patent application anywhere in the world, a 12-month clock starts ticking. During that year, you can file in other countries and get to keep that original filing date. This year is pure gold. It gives you precious time to test the market, to see if your product has real commercial potential, and to line up funding before you have to commit to all those expensive international filings. But what if you need more than a year? Is there a way to get even more time? You bet there is. That's where the Patent Cooperation Treaty, or PCT, comes into play. The best way to think about it is as a strategic delay button. Filing a single PCT application basically lets you hit pause on having to file in dozens of individual countries. This timeline here lays it out perfectly. So you start the clock at month 0 with your first filing. Then, right at that 12-month mark, you file one PCT application. Now look what that does. It pushes your deadline for entering all those individual countries all the way out to month 30. That gives you a full 2.5 years from day 1 to really validate your strategy before those major costs of national filing fees and translations really start to kick in. It's a game changer. So, we've covered the costs, the strategies, the timing. Let's bring this all home. Let's put it all together into an actionable blueprint that will help you turn your patent portfolio from just another cost center into a powerful strategic asset for your company. Okay, here's your plan. First, you have to understand all the cost drivers, especially those sneaky hidden ones like translation and maintenance fees. Second, choose the right mix of protection. That hybrid strategy we talked about is often your best bet. Third, use time as your ally. Leverage the priority year and the PCT to delay costs and give yourself room to make smarter decisions. And finally, actively manage your portfolio. Don't just file patents and forget about them. You have to conduct regular reviews and be ruthless about pruning what you no longer need. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. Right now, is your patent portfolio just another expense line on a budget? Or is it a dynamic strategic asset that is actively helping drive your business forward? The choice and the strategy to get there is all yours.